Hi everyone, we're here at Blacksmith Fork Assisted Living. We've got one of our residents here, Lelia Allen, and she is nice enough to let us do a short interview with her. She's a longtime resident of Hyrum, and we're excited to have her here. And so we wanted to just go through some questions with her, a bit of a posterity video for her family, and kind of let you guys all know what an awesome person we have living here with us. And we've got Blake Walton here, our activities director. He's going to be conducting the interview with her, and I'll pass it off to them.
Okay, so let's start out with, where were you born?
I was born in Hyrum, Utah.
Hyrum, Utah. Okay, so you've lived here. Actually, you lived in several different places, right?
Yes, I have. I lived in Hyrum until I was married, and then I moved around and
Came
a lot
back.
of places. I came back.
You came back.
I could move to other places, knowing that when we were done in the service, we could come back to Hyrum. Hyrum was home.
Okay, I like that. What was your spouse's name?
Boyd Albertson.
Albertson. And how long were you guys married for?
I was married to him for 55 years. And then after he died, I married Lelia Allen. And he died after 2.5 years. They both died with cancer.
Cancer, okay. So here is one of the kind of more fun questions. How did Boyd propose to you?
He took me out to Levi's Pond with a basket of fried chicken and potato salad his mother had prepared.
I was gonna say, did he make it? No, his mother made it.
His mother made it for him. And he picked me up and we went and spread out a blanket by the pond, and he proposed to me there.
Did he get
at Anderson's Pond, out north of Hyrum, northeast of Hyrum.
We might have to go visit that then.
It's private property now.
Well,
But then it wasn't.
there. We will sneak in there. Okay, great. How many kids do you have?
6.
And what are their names?
Raymond, Linda, Dawn, Michelle, Gail, and Michael.
Michael, excellent. Grandkids? How many grandkids?
I've got 23 grandchildren, 32 great-grandchildren, and 6 great-great-grandchildren.
I didn't know you had great-great-grandchildren. That's awesome.
Yep, I think it is. We've just taken some 5-generation pictures.
Oh, that's great.
And that's nice.
That's neat. Okay, when you were growing up, what did your family do, like to spend time together? What kind of things would you guys do?
Oh, we did a lot of fun things those days. We sleigh rided on the hill, and we had big bonfires at night in the summertime. Roasted potatoes and corn, and there was only dirt roads then, so we could have a bonfire by the road, by the house.
You roasted potatoes, like how did you do that? Like on a stick, like a hot dog?
No, we just rolled them in the coals.
Oh.
And then when they were black on the outside and nice and hot and tender on the inside, we just put butter and salt. Oh, our place was kind of a gathering place. There was a lot of the kids came because I had 2 younger brothers and 2 older sisters, and we lived next to Stingy Street in Hyrum, and they all came to our place. I don't know why, maybe because there was a bunch of us, and we all played together.
You guys were the party house. Okay. What would you say is the most important lesson that your parents taught you that you would pass on?
Oh my goodness, I had wonderful parents. We just loved each other. We respected each other's brothers and sisters, and we just all worked together. The girls had the jobs in the house, and the boys did the mowing lawns and helped with the stock. And we girls helped did the house.
So I like that. So like, love, respect each other.
Yeah.
That's a good lesson. Good, good, good. Okay, so what would be your dream for your children and your grandchildren? What would you hope?
Oh,
We're
I
tapping
just
it out.
hope they're happy and stay close to their teachings from their parents. My children all turned out to be wonderful, good, clean, church-going people, and that's what I want them all to be. I want them to be happy and healthy and like we all want.
Yeah. I like that. Good. What makes you happy? Besides hanging out with the activity
By
director
hanging
all
out
day.
with you guys. Oh, I'm just really happy if everybody else is.
I believe that. I believe that. That's good. Okay, growing up, was there a chore that you just hated to do?
Well, I enjoyed working with my dad more than in the house. I got my work in the house done early so I could help my dad. I liked to ride the horses and help with the haying and
Did you so housework? That would be just any kind of chore that
oh no,
that you didn't like, or
I started when I was little. We were assigned jobs. My first job was cleaning the stocking drawer, putting all the stockings together. Then I graduated to the bathroom, and then the other girls were doing the upstairs and the living room and the kitchen, and then Mother oversaw it all.
made sure you got it done right.
Yeah. No, Mother worked hard.
I believe it. I believe it. Let's see. Let's talk about Boyd and his service. What branch of the military was he in?
He was drafted in the Army. He went all through the Battle of the Bulge and all of that. He watched airplanes flying over when he was standing in a foxhole in mud and dirt. He said, they get to go and be in a soft bed tonight. So as soon as he was released from the Army, he joined the Air Force. And so we spent 22 years in the
So is
service.
he was career military?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay. Where you guys lived in Europe, right?
Yes, we
Where at?
spent time in Germany and Austria, and I never did get into the Pacific, but his was all in Europe.
Okay. Where was your favorite place in Europe that you lived?
Well, I lived by Fürstenfeldbruck, which is just outside of Munich.
Okay.
And we went up to Austria. We went where they had the Omer Ammergau plays. I don't know if you're too young to
I don't
have
know what
heard
that is.
about those, but the town puts on once a year, a big theater.
Oh, cool.
And we got to go with that. And that was the first one they'd had since the war and since before the war.
What was that called again?
The Oberammergau.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up. Okay, what would you consider would be the most important inventions during your lifetime?
Invention?
Yeah, what's something that just blew you away when it came out?
Well, I can remember the first radio we had, the first telephone we had. The telephone was a wooden box on the wall,
So the one you had to,
we
like,
had
crank?
to crank it, and we'd have to listen to make sure that somebody else wasn't on, because it was a party line for the whole town.
How many lines were there?
I don't know,
Oh.
but we always knew everybody else's business. which wasn't very nice.
Yeah.
But with kids, you know
That's
how that goes.
So the telephone, the radio, what would be an invention that just kind of changed your life, or you're just...
Oh, I remember the first refrigerator. Before that, we had Iceman James brought blocks of ice.
And you
in
put them in like a
wagon
potato
saw.
cellar or something?
No,
Oh.
we had an ice box. We had a box, and then up on top, they'd put this chunk of ice, and then as it melted, it would run down and underneath, and Mother would get rid of the water. But I can remember the first, I was maybe 5, 6 years old, and that's the first electric
Yeah.
refrigerator I'd ever seen, and that was fun. Mother made us go out and pull weeds, and she said, when you get all the weeds out of that part of the garden, then there'll be ice cubes. And we had to wait until the ice cubes froze, and we were so excited.
Oh, I bet.
To have ice cubes. And of course, there's been so many things since then that it's mind-boggling. I grew up during the Depression time. And so all these new things were wonderful, new, exciting things to me.
That's crazy. How long would the block of ice last?
Oh, once a week.
Oh, really?
He'd come with this big, he'd go and cut them in the rivers and had a big warehouse full of sawdust.
Sawdust?
Yeah, that's how they kept him.
That
in
keeps
this
it...
big barn, they kept him covered with sawdust.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's go, I'm curious now, let's go back to the Depression. How did it affect you? What was that like?
Well, I never did suffer from it because we were self-sufficient. We raised our own meat, our own chickens and eggs, and we raised our own milk and had butter and cheese. And we raised a big garden. Mother bottled everything that we needed to eat. We had grain fields that took the grain to the mill, had it ground into flour, and he would go each when Mother needed more flour. And the only thing I remember about it that amazes me now, the flour sacks were percale, were gingham, and Mother would take the threads out when we were done and wash them, and that's what made our little blouses and our little brother's shirts.
From the flour sacks.
And out of what the flour had been in, they had material we could do that.
You didn't reuse them?
No,
Oh.
yeah, well, they just washed them.
Well, sorry, I meant reuse
No.
them like for the flour.
No,
Okay.
No. And I had a friend who came to church, or came to school, we had show and tell. And she got up and she had on a really cute pink dress, and she did a circle, and she said, "Isn't this beautiful? Mother found it in the garbage." And I don't know why, but that shocked me. And I never forgot that.
So did she make it from something in the garbage, or you just found a dress
she
in
just
the
found
garbage?
that somebody had thrown it away and she washed it. But I always thought we were rich because we had a new car. We always had a new car. But I didn't realize then that Dad was selling new cars, and it was a demonstrator. So we always had a new car.
Oh, okay.
So I thought we were pretty high up there, you know, when I have our new car all the time. That was a dumb kid, you know.
So your dad worked on the farm and he was a car salesman?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Busy.
Yeah.
Those would make for long days.
Well, he would come home, get home about 5 o'clock and change out of his suit, get on, hook up the horses and go to the fields and do the work then. And my 2 little brothers worked alongside. We all did. I hoed a lot of sugar beets. But we all helped.
Yeah.
Everybody helped.
You'd almost have to with all that.
We all helped.
That's interesting.
I'm getting too personal here. You've
You're
got
not.
to watch what you.
No, it's great. Let's see. Okay, we need to talk about your talents. Tell them about your amazing talent.
I don't have any amazing talent.
Oh, don't you
I
lie.
I crocheted, I embroidered, I made quilts for all my kids. And I took up painting after the kids were all done. And I did a lot of paintings. The kids think they're wonderful. They're
Yeah.
all over the United States, everybody.
Can we show one of them? Is that
If you
okay?
like.
Let's. Maybe.
Talent is
This is one of Leila's. I wish she had more to show off for us, but we love this one. Was this any particular place or?
No, I painted that for Boyd because we loved to hunt and we had a cabin in the, when we were in Idaho, we had a cabin up in the mountains, and so I made that one for him, and I've kept that one because it's small. All the others are bigger, but I thought this one I could take with me.
Yeah.
And that's my talent was my children. I never did work out of that. I work away from the home. My husband said he didn't marry me to put me to work. He married me to be a mother in a home. So I never did have a job anywhere except raising my children.
You did a fantastic job with that. What would be, this one's gonna take some pondering, what would be the single most memorable moment in your life?
Oh my goodness. I could tell you some stories, but they were too. I've had some miracles happen to me.
Yeah?
I really have. There's no excuse for it. We ran over 2 mountain passes from here to Afton, Wyoming with the broken, no, I can't remember. What holds the wheel?
The bolts?
Axle.
Anyway,
Or
we
the axle?
got just coming down the other side into the valley when the wheel turned sideways, the front wheel, and it shot us off to the side, and it was the only place for miles and miles and miles that there was a place you could go off. 5 minutes earlier, 5 minutes before, we'd have went into the ravine. And I felt like that was a miracle. And Gail says, "Oh, Mother, my sisters would have killed me if I'd have hurt you." And we just laughed. I mean, we felt like, but I felt like it was a miracle. Because I knew when it broke, she'd stopped we were on the way and there was a horse standing in the road with the rope hanging down. We got out, we parked offside. She caught the horse and tied it to a fence so somebody else wouldn't hit it.
Yeah.
And as she drove out, I heard something pop, and I thought she'd hit a big rock. And that was on this side of the mountains, and we went through Mount Pelier and over these mountain passes, and we started down the mountain, and that wheel turned then. The tie rod end
Okay.
broke. That's what it was. And to me, that was a miracle. I've had the time that I was in Germany. It was January. The snowbanks were higher than the cars on either side. Munich was miles away, and they didn't have a doctor, they didn't have maternity on the base. And I was due for this baby, and it was coming. And we came around the corner, and here was a big truck jackknifed across, and there was a guy, and he was jumping up and down. He says, "I'm freezing to death. Can you give me a ride?" And Boyd says, "Well, you'll have to get in the back. We'll have to go back." And we turned around, and of course I'm saying,
You turned around?
I mean,
like
he
you were
turned
having your
around,
baby, you turned
and
it
I
like
says,
that?
I'm moaning, you know, and saying, "Hurry, hurry, hurry." And the man says, "What's the matter?" And Boyd says, "We're having a baby." And he said, "Oh my gosh." He sobered up pretty quick. He'd been drinking.
Oh.
We get into town and we slid off into the road. We couldn't move. It was in a little Volkswagen, mind you.
Yeah.
And we were stuck. We couldn't move. Come an old German on a bicycle, pedaling down the road. He tried to pull it out. He couldn't. So here comes a weapons carrier. I don't know if you know what that is.
I don't.
That's a truck, big weapons truck with no doors on. And there was a driver and another driver. There was two in the car.
Mm-hmm.
So this German jumped out and yelled, "Frau Habenkinder, Frau Habenkinder." And so they stopped. Boyd picked me out of the car and set me up in the seat by the driver. The other driver climbed in the back of the truck. The old man threw his bike in the back, and the drunk got in the back from the truck, and we went right through the gate to the base, and sirens went off everywhere. You had to check in. I arrived at the hospital, and the boy carried me in, and they said, "Well, get a doctor." And told him to go over to the room, and I laid down, and Boyd had the baby in his hands. And the doctor came in and said, "I thought somebody was down here with a stomachache." And here in the doorway stands two air policemen, the driver of the truck, the old man, the relief driver, the drunk guy, and Boyd stands there with the baby in his hands.
Wow.
Now that was one of them that was a miracle to me, that I got there. Everything was okay. She's a beautiful girl. Everything went just fine. But I'm talking too much.
No.
No.
It's great. Okay, I got one last question. What would be the advice you give, like, my generation? What would you tell us to do better or change or to help us out?
Oh, just do the best you can. Do what your parents have taught you. I'm sure you have good parents, because I think you're a fine man.
Thank you.
And I think if you listen to, you know what's right, you've been taught.
Yeah.
Leave all this other stuff away and hang on.
Okay, I like that.
Do the best you can.
Do the best you can, I like
And
that.
that's the best there is.
Awesome, well thank you so much for letting me ask you these questions.
I'm sorry, I get carried away. I talk too much.
No, it was great. I'm glad you did that.
We want to thank Lelia for taking the time for us to ask some questions. We appreciate all the great advice, and we really love having her here at Blacksmith Fork Assisted Living.
I didn't know he was still doing it.
Thanks, Lelia.